How you guys doing? Yes, MrSneakyy here, and we're back on Call of Dragons. I know it's been a very long time. I'm sorry. I do apologize to every single one of you that's been asking for Call of Dragons content, but I will explain myself a little bit later in, well, let's say at the end of the video. But what we're going to be doing today is talking about the brand new patch, Song of Arcadia, patch 1.032, and I honestly want a big props and shout out to the devs already, because I was surprised to see the amount of effort put into the patch notes. It sounds a bit crazy, but as a content creator and as someone that has honestly been bashing and fucking smashing this game for quite a long time, you guys know, right? I built kind of this reputation on hating the game, but it's not really hating, it's trying to give them guys a bit more of a hard constructive feedback that people ain't willing to say, right? And the thing is, this patch 1.032, before we dive into it, it looks amazing. Like, this is what people want to see in a patch notes. Before we even dive in, how it's all formatted. You can see the coloring, you can see bullet points, you can see everything nice and actually easy compared to the old format, right? And that's already in my books. Big W. The fact that they're showing just this little bit of effort on the smallest of things honestly adds up to the community. So I do have a bit of promise in this patch, and I have had a little bit of luck been diving in, and I watched a little bit of Sin's video, so big shout out to Sin of War if you're watching this video. And honestly, some of the improvements coming to Call of Dragons, I have voiced myself. I'm not saying these are my ideas, however, I am really liking the direction. Let's just say that. I'm actually getting a little bit of faith back into the game. So we're going to start talking about it, showcase what's up with the game, and see why I'm actually quite happy. Because right now, this is going to come on the 14th of November. So today is the 11th as this recorded is pretty much done at 5 p.m. So give it a few hours, guys. It will be live. And we're going to get this access to this brand new patch. The first major update, which is insane, and I will say, I think they've taken this, I'm going to be honest, I think they've taken this from Age of Empires Mobile, where city themes, all city themes now, do not have debuffs. So if we kind of jump out and go into your city skins, right, everyone kind of knows these, right? These are the pinnacle of how you're getting stats, and honestly, picking these are bit detrimental on certain scenarios, right? Here is a really good example. If I'm running longer range warfare like I was doing in this season, my magic units with my marksman are technically getting suffered, right? They're losing 5% of their attack bonus for having that on. And a lot of the other big players don't really care about this, but a lot of the lower players do care about losing stats. So it's really good to see straight away when we go back into the mail that they're removing the debuffs from existing city themes. So current and future themes will only now provide buffs. Really, really cool. I actually like that. Good little change there. So even free to play, right? If you're gaining or earning any event skins now, they're going to actually help you out. It's not going to be a detriment if you go and get it, right? So I actually like this. Really do like this for your whole overall event. Now, new event, Smash the Shadows event, now available. Shadow Forts are terrifying structures. Basically, it's a brand new kind of launch rallies against a Shadow Fort. However, it's a little bit interesting, right? During the event, each alliance can summon and raid one Shadow Fort at a time. And an alliance can only launch rally attacks against that Shadow Fort that has been summoned. And then the total damage, and they've kind of put this up in indices to make sure you understand this. The more total damage an alliance deals within the time limit, the greater the rewards will get to the alliance members, and the more damage you deal individually, the greater personal reward you will receive. The player who does the most damage could win a reward multiplier of over 10 times for their alliance. So kind of cool. It'll be interesting to see how this works in the game, if it's going to be just one structure and you just keep going on and on and on. Not bad. It's just a new event that people have been wanting to do when it's downtime. Like it. I actually do like it. Holiday event. I'm not going to go too crazy in this. Everyone knows what these are. It's a 7-day login event. We've had these all over. So if you've not experienced one, congratulations. It's going to be your very first login day event. You're going to have 7 days, log in, get some good rewards. There's going to be some cool extra little events to be running. So it's just there for you guys. So just remember that's coming up soon. New gameplay achievement system now available. So finally, the one thing we've been screaming about, even myself, is like, dude, you removed the achievement system. Where is this achievement system that should be in place to help you, the free-to-play player, the low spender, even technically the spenders, get some extra goodies for playing the game? And it's finally back. They've got development, sociability, conquest, peacekeeping, and exploration. This will be very interesting to see what we're going to get. I can imagine for development, it's going to do with, you know, having max buildings, max tech, unlocking certain heroes. Same with conquest, could be to do with PvP battles, how much you've done overall. Peacekeeping, again, you can imagine how many war pets and so on. So it will be interesting to see what rewards we're going to get, right? And what trophies we are. So very cool. Happy to see this actually getting added to the game. And you can see why I'm actually kind of excited and happy. They've got a really good patch following up from the last patch, right? So really good to see back to back, and hopefully they can do another and another 2 back-to-backs again in good, you know, patches for patch 1.33 and 3.4 when they come down the line, right? Battle UI improvement. Removed redundant data from the battle report screen, making it more concise, as they're making it a lot more easier. Improved the display for battle reports, really good. And added battle statistics. You can now directly see the sources of damage, shields, and healing in battle. So this is going to be really good to see and learn, obviously, how good your match is actually performing. Are the shields actually doing what they're doing? We'll see, right? And we can actually test a lot better and get better reports on, again, field testing, right? So really good actual part on the battle UI. Apart from that, battle report categories, making it a little bit more easier for PvP, PvE, and other. Simple mode improvements. I'm not going to lie, I personally don't like the brand new simplified settings. I kind of have them turned off and kind of play dot mode. I'm going to be brutally honest, but the changing this from simple setting mode will provide presets of the standard, which hopefully is how it used to be, and then extra simple and custom. So this is kind of a lot better, again, giving us the customizability of how we want to play the game. And that, again, is what people want. We want customizability. We want the choice to do what we want, right? So like this, really good. Elk Rider unit improvement. This is one thing I did spoil for myself, and I am so happy to see this, because this is the one thing I have honestly said on Guns' stream. I've said it in, you know, chats in the official Discord, and it seems like they've actually come to the senses and in the agreement where you don't need to get rid of the ranged aspect of the Elk Rider. You just clearly had a good idea. They didn't execute it right, and they're doing it again. They're going to change this and keep it as a ranged unit, which I love, and adding it a brand new skill. And the skill is called Wild Barrage. When launching a normal attack, fires arrows at up to 5 enemy legions, including target, reducing their march speed by 30% for 3 seconds. Each target hit, legions gain 150 range and take 10% less damage. Absolutely sick skill. They get this on a trigger on every 10 seconds. It's really good on the uptime. And on top of this, they get a base attack increase. So if you have T5, you're going to have 386 attack. And then on T4, you're going to have 290 attacks. So they've increased the amount of damage these bad boys do. Absolutely love this. I like the fact they've kept the identity of the rangedness. This is kind of what they were doing. There just wasn't really any reason, right, to take these over any other unit. Now, if you're taking that ranged cavalry unit, you're doing AoE splash damage with your ranged march. Yes, you're kind of short distance, we will admit that, but I think that's a really clever trade-off to add. And the fact that you're getting 50% technically damage reduction when you're hitting 5 potential units all together, and you're generating 150 rage times 5 again. Kind of crazy on your march. So even early game, Alistair with those Elk Riders could be doing some really good AoE damage for free-to-play players. So really interesting. I cannot wait to see what you guys, the Cav community, think about this, and love to hear your comments definitely down below about the Elk Riders specifically, because this is probably the most interesting change of everything in this patch. I'm going to be real. Then we've got army group feature improvement. So the new army group same movement speed feature. This is allowing everyone, no matter what, to run at the same speed. This is really good. Again, I would say this is kind of a feature stolen from Age of Empires Mobile, because we can do this in that game too. But a really good feature. It honestly fixes one core problem where at the start of army groups, we always suggesting, like, if you are running a army group, you kind of send out a message to everyone and set up their one cav unit, so maybe the Bakshi or maybe the Emrys, to this one specific page. So if they run it with your calves, they should be running at the same speed. And that is a really good way to fix it, by just putting a little toggle, so if they were quicker, it reins them in. So really good change like this. Same with for infantry as well. It helps infantry to run at the same speed. So good actual good quality life changes. War pet systems. So now we're on the juicy bits, because war pets is the one area I've always had big issues with, and now it looks like they're finally coming to the senses and improving it all the time. I don't think this is everything. We might get a little bit more, but I do like the direction of this, right? The new skill upgrade system. When upgrading war pet skills, you can now consume skill cards of the same star rating, skill cards of the lower star rating, and other war pets who share that skill. So really good. Your current war pet skill upgrade progress will be calculated as a percentage and displayed in a new manner, so they're kind of making it a little bit easier to understand what's coming. And then it's all about this bottom section, I think. Really good kind of bottom section on here. The exchange house adjustments, purchase limits, and exchange houses will now be reset every 1 week rather every 2 months. So again, this is allowing players, if they want to spend, they can spend. But even if you're just a person trying to get stuff, right, and you do potentially hit a limit, right, you are able to get more. And the fact that this is every 1 week is just, again, really good. I think everyone will be happy that they're able to obtain more skill cards. I'm going to be honest, it's just the way it is. Purchase limits have been reduced as well accordingly, and after this, 0-star skill cards will be subject to purchase limits. So there will be some purchase limits involved, so you won't have to, you have to max limit, but I can imagine this being really high anyway. Increase the impact of single purchases have on war pet skill card prices and fluctuations. So this is going to basically change how much you have to buy them. Skip animations, options for the auto regeneration screen, kind of nice. War pet capture improvements. Here we fucking go, because I like this. You can now guarantee capture a war pet, and a talent skill will be on that war pet on the 4th capture. So every 4 successful captures on the map, you will always guarantee a talent skill. Love it. Captured epic and legendary war pets are always guaranteed to have a talent skill. Love it. So this is getting that consistency that I've always been moaning about. I've always been moaning about consistency. We need ways to make it more consistent. Obviously, I suggested warrants. Just give us more warrants and we can kind of deal with it. But I like the way they've solved it. They kind of solved the problem with basically allowing the categories to actually mean something, right? So the epics and legendaries are going to have talent skills. And I can imagine the legendary, and I hope it works like this, the legendary war pets might have a 2-star skill, a 3-star talent skill, if you're lucky at getting a legendary war pet, right? So really like this, the fact that you got consistency now, every 4 captures that getting a talent skill, so you can actually farm and go upgrading, really good. And the fact that you got that extra luck factor now and actually want to get war pets, right? Because if you get that epic and legendary, you're going to be hyped to see it, right? Like it. I really do like it. It makes you want to do this mechanic, right? War pet strategy update guide. Obviously, tabs now include hero recommendations, allowing you to see hero pairs. Basically, it's just a nice little quality of life, right? If you go into the little encyclopedia, you can click where all of the PvE skills are, and you can see the PvP skills. Now in that area, it's going to also showcase hero recommendations. Really good. War band behemoth raids. Really good. This is all about alliance systems now, these next 2 areas. Basically, from season 2 onwards, warband members can help out each other in both standard and elite behemoth raids. Love it. The standard raids, war members whose alliance territory is not adjacent to a behemoth lair cannot purify behemoths, but they can help other warband members whose alliance territory is adjacent to behemoth lairs during raids. So what this means is your alliance, as long as you're in a warband, you can actually send troops over, help kill that behemoth, but you cannot capture it. That's all it's saying. All you have to do is make sure your other warband alliance is touching that layer. I think this is what everyone's been crying for. Again, really good change. They're getting it together, guys. Honestly, they're getting it together. They're bringing back the community. They're bringing back the reasons to grind these things and get hyped about the different mechanics. I'm honestly getting excited, as you can tell, about Call of Dragons, and that's kind of where we're going to lead to at the end of this video. So keep tuned in if you've been watching it all the way through. And now coming to the bottom part of this, elite raids. War members who help out in elite raids cannot receive the first occupation rewards. If this is the first elite raid to be completed on the server within the time, war members who take part in the raid can receive the corresponding behemoth frame reward. So this is allowing players to do, again, in warbands. You won't be able to get any elite first occupational rewards if you're participating in that warband raid. However, if you do go through that elite raid and you win and you get technically the timer, you are going to get the avatar frame, which I like. They're giving you the actual reward, which people go for with elite raids, right? So I like this. I like the fact that they're giving you and not punishing you for being in warbands. Really good changes. Like I said, really good patch. Really good patch. Improved village raids. Improved village raid mechanic on Season 2 onwards. You can now launch raids on villages without a road connection. Finally. This is going to be a little bit of a problem, I do think, with alliances, and I'll explain why. Because obviously at the moment, a lot of the alliances, the way they kind of say to players, look, you can't capture this village right now. We're creating the list for players to get the, village. Normally they wait for the road, right? The road is the way they can kind of choose when it goes online. So it's going to be interesting to see how this actually does affect the larger picture of an alliance, but really good change in overall, right? In most situations, if it's a free-for-all, it's really good. As soon as you get the flag now, boom, village goes. I really like it. Fixed an issue where village buffs would still be active after a player left their alliance. Now, all your occupied villages will remain occupied after leaving an alliance, but their buffs will not take an effect. So it is a sad time, even though we've had a really good patch, honestly, a really good patch. This is the one nail in the coffin that we suffer, and I think we can live with it. I'm going to be honest, I think we can live with it. The fact that, we're not going to be able to get these buffs from, say, different alliances like people were doing is a little bit of a sad time. It's a sad time. You can't stack those elixirs anymore and get easy access. However, hopefully they make it so there's more villages, more better villages, and easier to obtain them, right? So let's see how that works out. Alliance building removal limits. Players must now recruit a minimum city level requirements to remove alliance buildings. So you have to be at least level 10 to deploy legions to remove an alliance building. Fair enough. This is basically stopping farmers and basically anyone who's making bot accounts to do this. Is trying to prevent this, I believe. So anyway, I can imagine this is in any way effective. If they really wanted to, maybe level 16 would be a bit better, because anyone who's really playing the game is 21, 20, and upwards, I would say. Behemoth Trials improvements. Behemoth Trials challenge failed screen now includes guidance on how to improve. Fair enough. Added a new reward for clearing stage 5. Now the first time you clear the stage, you'll gain 10 killer tokens. Kind of don't care about that. I'm going to be honest with you guys. You can now buy pan tokens and learning tokens in the trial store. So they basically added these in. I'm going to be honest, I'm happy about the learning because I need to work on her, so it's going to be easy for me to max her out now. The one thing I would love to see, and I think everyone would love to see this, and I think this would be a really good suggestion. I'm going to kind of put it in this video. I am going to make another Call of Dragons video adding this in. What I would love to see in the Behemoth Trials, especially when you push through all the stages, you've maxed it all out, right? I would love to see it. So once you've bought all those Indis tokens, they're maxed out, you can choose, and this could be per season. So every season you have a choice. But you could pick a generational 1 hero. I'm just saying. So I could pick my, obviously, Valen and work on Valen for the entire season. And at the end of the season, it goes back into Home Kingdom. It might switch back to the Indies. Who knows? You guys can decide that as the devs. But then in the next season, I can choose again, right? And switch up. So I'd love to see something like that in the game where the Behemoth Trials is a free-to-play friendly area where if you work on it and over time, you will get these sculptures for your commanders, and that's what people want, because that allows them to catch up through other spenders, right, that have already got those maxed heroes and they're already working their G3, G4 heroes. Let's be real, right? Just opening improvements, fair enough, don't really care about that. Just about reducing number of keys, cool. Healing UI improvements, added the ability to filter flying units, nice little toggle, good. other improvements, Brink of War event improvements. So the thing is, I'm going to be honest, Brink of War is kind of cool, but I'm not too bothered about this. It's just reducing the amount of resources required. Fair enough. So we kind of got screwed over, but happy days. And basically, this is just allowing us to basically donate less. So if you did this in the past, obviously it is what it is. You can't complain. So fair enough. Not really care about Brink of War. It's a Rise of Kingdoms event. I'm sorry, guys. It is. It's just a Rise of Kingdoms event. It doesn't make me really excited like any of the other parts of this patch. Share Legion formation, pretty good. This is, again, I'm not going to lie, a feature in Age of Empires Mobile. And again, they've added it into this game. So I'm glad to see, the competitor in the genre right now, who's got, honestly, quite a lot of popularity, as you guys know, right? The game is very popular right now, Age of Empires Mobile. Call of Dragons are fucking starting their act out. They're like, yo, we need to fucking knuckle down and get the Avengers together. And it seems like they're doing it. I'm going to be honest. They're fucking banging stuff out in this. Are really good. So you can share now, technically, formations. Really good. Improve the process of details of unlocking wonders. Don't really care about that. It's just kind of PvE stuff. It is what it is. Season summary adjustments reduce the difficulty of obtaining Hydra crystals in Season 1. So this is kind of upsetting. This is me. I'm going to be honest. It's me being greedy, me being MrSneakyy. I would love it, right? They've added this really good for Season 1 players. Everyone else who's played this game for such a long-ass time, like myself, every other veterans, right? We're not going to have this. So I would love it. So if they send all the other players that are where we are, maybe 1 or 2 free crystals, just 1 or 2, not an insane amount, just 1 or 2, just to be like, look, guys, you're not going to experience this free, amazing, good change, but in good faith, here, this is what you might have been able to extra obtain back in that season. So really like it, right? Gem use confirmation, don't really care again, just improve the feature for that. And then secondary password feature. So adding a secondary password feature can basically protect your account better. So when enabled, a secondary password will be required for certain actions. So if you are going to be using your legendary hero tokens, disbanding level 4 to 5 legions, or using or gifting dragon tickets and migration, basically any of the spending side of things, let's be real, it's all the actual really scary parts, all the investment part of your account, you can set a password on there, which I actually think is really cool, because the way you could do this is, in theory, I'm just saying, technically your account gets stolen, maybe your account gets borrowed, who knows? I'm not saying wink wink what happens out there in the old, community, but you're not scared about a lot of the people maybe taking advantage of your account, right? You can actually put a password on there and make sure everything is the same when you get back on. And obviously that's for you. So I do like this, kind of a good little extra little security feature in the game. And that is Songs of Arcadia. And as you can see, I've actually really enjoyed breaking down the whole Songs of Arcadia. Comes out in 3 days time, remember? And amazing. And I can't be bad. I'm gonna be honest, I can't say anything bad. It's an amazingly good patch. And they've even, like I said, taken the time to format it so we can see it better. And it's just, like I said, all the little details that add up and make you really want to love the game, right? So what does this mean for the channel, right? What does this mean for the channel? You're probably wondering. So obviously, I am doing Call of Dragons content. I am still doing Age of Empires Mobile content, because I'm going to be honest, that game I absolutely love. Even though you guys might huff and puff and you might complain about it, Age of Empires Mobile is a very fun game. It just has content, and that's the thing. It just has stuff to do, and that's what you want when you play games, and especially me as a content creator. I need something to do, and at the moment, Call of Dragons, I don't know how I'm going to approach a lot of the content. I think I'm going to do content a different way, is the best way of putting it. I'm going to do a lot more theory crafting videos. I'm going to do more suggestion-based videos, right? And do something a little bit out of the pocket compared to what I normally do, which was all of the guides and stuff. And I will still do, a guide or 2 here and there, but I am toning down currently the amount of Call of Dragons content on the channel. I'm going to be honest. If you are a long-term supporter, right, and you've been following the channel, you know how many videos I've put out for Call of Dragons. I've done over 1.2, nearly 1.3k videos, and you know, it's been nice and refreshing to take a break from it. I'm gonna be honest. The last basically almost like 20 days or so of playing Age of Empires Mobile and uploading nearly every day, and sometimes missing out a day and not feeling bad about it is really good. It is really good, and I like the community there as well. I'm gonna be honest. It's a really nice community. Everyone wants to work with each other, and I've always, extended my arm out to people in this community saying, if you want to show off you unlocking stuff, you want to talk about your marches, right, let me know and we can try and make something really happen. People don't want to do that, and it is what it is, right? It's just how the difference is in the communities. So that's kind of where I've been at, and that's probably why I haven't been honestly posting that much content for Call of Dragons, because it hasn't really got that much content on, apart from when war is kicking off, and even then there's only so much war you can watch, in my opinion, and then you kind of get a bit bored of it if it's every single day, in my eyes, right? So that's kind of where we've been at. That's honestly Call of Dragons. That's where the content head is it. So I hope you guys have enjoyed it. This has been the patch notes. I kind of ended the video there, explaining myself as well where we've been, and hopefully you understand there is Call of Dragons content still on the channel. I'm still going to be making some Call of Dragons content on the channel, so keep an eye on it. I'm also going to be doing Age of Empires Mobile, and I'm even going to be covering potentially more variety of games, because that's what I want to do. I want to do variety games, and we're going to address it properly in a real video, so I'm not going to make this any longer. So if you enjoyed it, you've enjoyed the patch notes, you know what to do. Smash like, comment, and subscribe. Until then, stay safe, stay sneaky. Peace out.